Yo, what's going on? Misha here. So in today's video is going to be a day in the life of a high ticket closer, coach, sales trainer, whatever you want to call it. All right, it's a Monday, we're slam packed, so you guys are going to be a fly on the wall for the entire thing. If you're looking to get into high ticket sales, whatever it is, this is going to show you exactly what a day looks like. All right, first things first, we got to hit a quick workout, then we're going to dive into the day. Let's go. Yo, it's 8 a.m. We're in the gym, we're getting our body right. Okay, my calendar today is literally backed up for the next like 10 hours, meetings. But it's important that I find time to get in the gym, to get my mind right, get my body right, so that I can tackle the day, all right? The money's great, but if you're not in shape, what the fuck does it matter, right? Anyways, back in like April, when I was in Portugal, It was like midnight. Me and Aman were just at the hotel and we're doing CCs. We're kind of drunk. and I call this guy and we're also walking to McDonald's at the time. Right? I call him up and I'm just like in a mood. I spoke to this guy and he was like in school and he was trying to drop out and he wasn't happy and he was trying to get into closing, right? Yeah. So I remember just having a really dope conversation with him and just connecting with him. I gave him the link to the boot camp. I'm like, listen, bro, like join the boot camp, show up for the morning calls and, you know, we'll talk more. Anyways, he did that. We didn't speak after that. I kind of forgot about him and he never got back to me. I see him request to join the Facebook group on Friday. Right, I call him up. I'm like, yo, I remember we spoke 8 months ago. What's up? And then anyways, we set a meeting for Saturday, called up, closed, quick 5K.
Nice. No objections?
Yeah, because he was getting a lot of value. Like he showed up for the 8 months, just showing up on the morning calls,
really
watching the recordings. He's like, yo, so I hear you guys have some kind of program where you train and place people. I'm like,
he closed himself, eh?
Yeah. No, but it was good. He's actually like a perfect fit for the program. Like he's literally me when I was first getting into all this, you know,
super
like,
motivated, intelligent, down to make money.
Yeah, so I'm excited for him. So for the vlog, we show up to the Sheraton basically twice a day, every day, because this is the nearest Starbucks to us.
Yeah.
Let's get this day started. Yo, quick question. Does anybody actually tip at Starbucks? Like, I get when you go out to eat and you're doing fine dining and all that, you know, leave a nice tip. But when you order a Starbucks, the first option is to drop 20%. I don't know. Am I a bad person because I don't tip?
No. Inflation. They're trying to get you to tip everywhere. It's crazy.
Bro, I swear to God. And you got to click like 5 buttons before you can exit.
That's why you got to get into something recession-proof, remote closing.
Yeah, so every Monday morning, 9 a.m., we have a team meeting. Really important just to reflect on your past week and talk about how you're gonna crush the week ahead. Like, it's crazy how most people don't do this, and you can literally like double the rate that you grow in sales, business, life just by reflecting on your wins, reflecting on your losses, and adjusting, you know? So we try to do that every single week. Now we're gonna be getting into the morning training with our team, our boot camp. We're 1 minute late. Let's get this thing popping. And honestly, like this is where like the deal is closed, right? So what you're doing in situation, right? You're obviously starting out broad question, right? You're trying to get to know what's going on in their life. This is a stage of the call called discovery. right? So situation, vision, and challenge, these are kind of discovery stages where you're collecting information, right? You're figuring out what's actually happening. Okay, so a lot of you guys in these stages, that's where you guys stop, right? You guys are like, okay, discovery. I need to find information. I need to find their pain points. What I'm thinking about when I'm in situational, like that's obviously on my mind as I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but really my biggest thing is I'm just trying to connect with the person on the phone. Okay, good start to the day so far. We got a workout in, we got a team training in, we got another team meeting in. Now I'm jumping into some management calls. I like to do Zoom meetings twice a week with all of my different sales teams. So these guys here, the meeting I'm about to jump on in 2 minutes. The biggest problem with this contract is that there are way too many leads coming in. I'm looking at the Calendly right now. There's about 30 booked calls today between a team of 3 full-time guys and 1 part-time guy. So, it's really important. The thing with sales management, I feel like a lot of people overcomplicate it. Really, all I want to do is just review the KPIs, review, how many book calls are here, how many people showed up, are we, on target when it comes to sales or not? If we're not, what adjustments do we need to make? I'm not saying don't give payment plans, like close whatever you can, obviously, right? But I want you guys to just think about, okay, how can I close more 3Ks? How can I close more 5Ks? Right? And if you run into somebody who, has the money, it's like that's a call that you should be putting a lot of focus and attention to, after the fact, right? End of the call. As you know, this call is to talk about how we're going to be placing you with a high ticket offer here in the next couple of months. But first, I do like to get to know anybody that I work with. Just want to start out with a couple questions, make sure this actually makes sense, and then we can take it from there. Okay?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Can you just give me a bit of a background on what you got going on, why you scheduled the call as well? Sounds like you don't wanna be in the whole bullshit system of school and 9 to 5 and all that crap. It sounds like you see yourself, you feel like you're capable of achieving more, right? And you're just looking for how you're going to do it.
Yeah, I definitely am. I've been working, I think.
Just trying to figure out because I also want to see if I can even help you, right? And if this would even make sense. What is it exactly that you're looking to gain, closing? Walking me through big picture, how much you want to be making, what kind of schedule you want to be working, career, longer term, what do you really want from all of this? Well, Einar, it was a pleasure speaking, man. All the best with this, and looking forward to connecting soon. But yeah, it's typically, man, it's inbound leads, meaning these leads schedule on your calendar. They purchase a course before they even speak to you. You're selling to customers, right? Essentially, they book a time with you. Our typical closer on our team gets anywhere between 10 to 15 bookings every day. And this is selling, usually selling products between 3 to 8K US on 10 to 15% commission. Right, so you can kind of do the math on that. And when you do the math on that, and when you see how much money these clients are spending, you can probably realize why I'm picky with the kinds of people that I work with, because I also need to maintain my reputation, and that's why we have the training as well, right? So it kind of all comes together.
Happy for me to go away and do that.
No, man. Have a great rest of your day. We'll keep in touch, and looking forward to chatting soon.
All right, Bishop. All right, nice one. Thanks for that.
Cheers, man.
Take care.
Okay, so just wrapped up, what was it, my 11:30. Solid guy. He's 22 years old and runs a business, super corporate, super professional, crazy go-getter. Overall, really good conversation. I think he's gonna be a freaking perfect fit for what we're doing, but there is some logistical stuff that he needs to figure out. Not every deal needs to be closed on the first call. There's no point in applying pressure, especially when I think someone's gonna crush it within our program. So we had a really good chat, and we're going to connect later on this week to get him started. But now from here, shit, I got maybe 10 minutes to eat lunch, and then we're back to back for the rest of the day. So catch you guys in the next one. Yo, so check this out. It's me and Nation. Middle of the sales day in the life. Listen, in the middle of your sales calls, you have calls back to back to back. It's important that you let off some steam, you shoot some oops, or you do something to get your mind in the game, all right? Now, if I make this, we're getting this channel to 1 million this year. Yo, so listen, sales, sports, they go hand in hand, all right? A lot of our best closers in our office, they come from a sports background. Aman played on the Indian Olympic team for soccer. Just kidding, but no, in all seriousness, Aman played high-level soccer. I tried to play high-level basketball, but I was too short for it. One of our top guys right now came from D1 baseball. The thing is, sports and sales have a lot in common, and I like to argue that sales is a sport. Every day you gotta show up, you gotta be great, you gotta outwork, you gotta practice. Even if you're not as talented as other people, if you outwork those people, you will see more success. So keep that in mind. Progress check-in. We are a total of 5 booked calls into the day. Dealing with a couple of people who are just not qualified. Kind of annoying, but whatever. When it comes to those calls, I just try to disqualify quick. I'm kind of at a point in my sales career where I'm not trying to spend 45 minutes on a call with somebody who's just going to waste my time, and I have a pretty good feel for who will and who won't. So had to disqualify a couple people. One really solid follow-up for later on in the week. We had one client who just came on board. His name was James. So he's coming from a real estate background. So he left his trucking business to go all in on real estate, but he's not very liquid. So he's basically looking for a way to make good money while he continues to do his real estate investing, right? While he continues to scale that. So he's based out in Tampa. I think he's going to do really well. James, if you're watching this, keep going, brother. We got work to do. Overall solid day. And also, I didn't even mention this, but this morning we had a client upgrade to the one-on-one component of our training. So he was having an awesome time in the program, going through the group calls, going through the role plays. He was seeing a lot of progress, and he wanted to get a little bit closer guidance when it comes to his training, just because he's on a little bit of a time crunch. He's looking to just overall get ready for that placement as soon as he can. So he just put down an investment of $4,000. James put down $3,000. So that puts us at $7K on the day. And we still have 3 more book calls to go. So overall, pretty solid start. Right now, we just had a client cancel his book call. So I'm going to use that opportunity just to go over some recordings of some of my guys on the sales team, send them over a little bit of feedback, make sure that they're better. That's something I wish I had so much more of when I was first starting out in sales. I wish somebody with 5 years of experience could listen to my sales call and tell me exactly what I suck at. Because it took me years to learn a lot of the stuff that I can tell these guys on a 5-minute voice note, But anyways, I try to do that as much as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to that call recording, and we're going to film it so you guys can get the same feedback. All right. Yo, Jalen, just listen to your recording. Couple pieces of feedback, man. Happy Monday. Implement this stuff quick, and let's make the adjustments. Overall, pretty solid call across the board, but there's just a couple minor things that would have made a huge difference on this call. So First of all, good intro. Never say, is it a bad time? Like that immediately puts you in a position of lower authority, right? It says you're trying to get on his time. He's got to get on your time. And keep in mind that these are booked calls, right? Never say, is it a bad time? If anything, say, hey, you ready to rock for the call? This is exactly what happened there. You were like, hey, so tell me about yourself and what you got going on. Yeah, I'm a mattress salesperson. And you were like, okay, how long have you been doing it? Says, yeah, it's been a few years. Okay, what kind of hours do you work every day? Like, these aren't super quality questions, and I really want you to avoid this line of questioning. When he says, yeah, I'm a mattress salesman, say, okay, tell me a little bit more. What's that like? Okay, tell me more. Right? Just tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Get him to open up. You really want your prospect, Jalen, in the first 2 minutes of the call to just give you like a full spiel, right? Just give them the opportunity just to lay everything on you and break down their entire life story. Okay, and now the last piece of feedback, this would have prevented the objection that came up later on in the call. When you asked your prospect a challenge-based question, right? Always ask the timeline first. So before you ask them, hey, what's been stopping you? Ask them, hey, so when did you realize that you want to build a business? Hey, well, it's been 3 years ago. Gotcha. So in these 3 years, like, man, what's been stopping you from starting? Why haven't you taken action on this yet? It just hits so much different because his response was he didn't have a mentor, right? Even then, I'd be like, well, what, man, I mean, you've seen like what's possible. Like, why haven't you been able to find one? Right? And then, you know, he kind of touched on it, but just overall, like, you're going to get such a better answer for your challenge-based question when you set it up with a timeline like that, right? And then at the end, he said, yeah, I just want one night to think about it. Everything sounds really good. This is the perfect program, but I just got to think about it. Like, you ended up closing it, which is fine, but that wouldn't have even came up if you had that timeline earlier. You would have been like, dude, you told me you just spent the past 3 years finding the perfect mentorship program. You just told me this is the perfect mentorship. What are we talking about here, man? Let's get you started. You know, like, you wouldn't have even brought it up because it would have sounded stupid because you prevented the objection earlier on in the call, right? All right, guys, so that's it for a day in the life. Overall, pretty solid day. Did about $7,000 in sales personally. Team did just about 40K in total sales across all of our teams, which is pretty good. Overall, like, as you can see, really high ticket closing and doing it at a high level, it's not that crazy. It's just about doing these simple things and doing them properly, you know? You gotta find beauty in it. You gotta find excitement in the day-to-day, the simple stuff. But I just realized tonight's training, we're gonna be canceling it just because it's Thanksgiving out here in Canada. So I'm gonna go hang out with my family. But guys, like, comment, subscribe. Should we do more vlogs? Should we do more trainings? Let us know in the comments down below. But anyways, catch you on the next one.
Woo! Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man, we